I the only adult here? Am I the only one who doesn't let drama happen?
Hello, it's Jenna. Welcome to another Wednesday on Nightfall Nation. So this week is back to school week, and I'm going to be talking to you about changes that happen throughout high school, more specifically kind of how I've changed and like what's made me grow as a person through like school, basically. Yeah. So freshman year, I was a quiet person. I had a lot of friends, but I wasn't very like loud and energetic, I guess. I wasn't as like outgoing, and I didn't like seek to grab anyone's attention because I kind of knew my place. I'm like, I'm a freshman. I'm nothing special. I'm just here to be here. Because there was like 3 grades of people older than me who like I knew. I'm like, these people, they've done this. They know what they're doing. Like, freshmen can't just show up and be like, oh, I'm in high school now, I own the world. And I was self-aware of that. I was one of the few who just kind of knew that I wasn't hot shit. And so I kind of just stayed quiet and to myself, and I didn't try to like one-up people or whatever. So yeah, I was also on the cheer squad. That was interesting. I hated all of them. I still hate the people who were on it. Like, they annoy me so much. They probably hate me because I quit in the middle of the season and it really screwed up everything that they were working on. I just like quit. I just straight up stopped showing up, and they were all like, why would you do that? And I'm like, because you were horrible people and you treated me like shit. So I don't deserve, you don't like, I don't know why I would stick around and help you. So yeah, that was like the first step in my not letting people get me down kind of thing. Like, I usually would just let people walk all over me and I didn't really care, but I feel like quitting, that was really the first step I took in not letting people walk all over me. And I'm just kind of like, well, I don't need to take this, so I'm not going to. And it was also kind of like, I didn't want to do it because it took a lot of effort, because it was like after school until like 4, and I had homework that I wasn't getting done, and I just was tired and stressed, and it caused a lot of issues for me. And all that like stress and stuff on top of like this growing depression, like this was the year where my depression started, kind of like drove me into a really bad place. And so freshman year, probably towards like the 2nd semester, I was just really depressed and I didn't want to talk to people. I cried pretty much every day at school, and I was like, it was bad. Like, that was the time where I started cutting myself, and I was just super done with everything. And then, so I feel like that freshman year is really what built me as a person, because none of this would have happened in middle school, because yeah, middle schoolers are ridiculous and nobody likes them, but I never had like as much stress or like worry about what people thought, because there was all like the older kids and then the people I was going to school with, and I didn't like the way I looked, and I didn't like how I was shy and people wouldn't really talk to me, and I wasn't much of like a group person. I'm still not, but I learned why and I've accepted it. So I just kind of, I was in a bad place, and then I started getting help from my doctor, and so I've been trying meds ever since then. And then sophomore year was when I was I was like, okay, I think this is it. I think I'm okay here. I think this is gonna be a good year. It was alright. I had some stressful classes. I had this one teacher who was the absolute worst, and he stressed me out to no end, to the point where, like, I wanted to, like, punch him in the face. He was the worst. He was so terrible. Like, at one point he said, he was like, I know you were born in a barn, but, like, pay attention. And I straight up just was like, you can't say that to me. And so he, like, kicked me out of class because I was like, you can't say that, that's not okay. And so that was, like, another time where I'm like, I'm not standing for this. I'm not gonna let you treat me like this. Like, you're my teacher. And he's like, well, you don't respect me. And I'm like, do you think I would? You treat me awful. Why would I ever respect you? You are a horrible person. And so, like, he was kind of surprised that I didn't like him and I didn't respect him. And I was like, you don't deserve my respect. Like, I get that you're my teacher, but no. Like, I've had multiple teachers like that who like, they're like okay at teaching. He wasn't a good teacher though. He was a terrible teacher. Like, it was a Spanish class. He legit knew Spanish. We learned nothing in that class. And I don't know, it was just ridiculous. And so him and, like, my band teacher who I had freshman year because I was in the marching band, like, he was a terrible teacher too. Like, he was so mean. He was like, he doesn't respect any of the kids. He's really passive aggressive. Like, he's totally fine when, like, the parents were around. He'd be like, oh haha, I'm the band director, I'm your kid's friend, everything is super cool here. But then as soon as, like, there weren't any parents around, he would, like, yell and just be super rude to us all. And I'm like, why do people put up with this? And, like, I still don't know why he teaches there because he's awful. And, like, I don't like him. That's why I quit. That's why I'm not doing choir this year, is because he was the teacher and I just didn't want to take it. He was the teacher last year and I was like, I hate you. This is the worst. I really hope that after high school I see them one day and I can just be really rude to them. And they'll be like, wow. And they would probably want to, like, try and yell at me and be like, I was your teacher, you can't treat me this way. And I'd be like, you can go screw yourself because I can do whatever I want now. Thank you. It's gonna be my attitude towards bad teachers as soon as I graduate. I'm just gonna be like, I hated you, by the way. You're the worst. So sophomore year was kind of meh. It was like an okay year. Junior year though, I was like, yeah, everything's cool. I had more friends than I did the previous year. And I was in, like, a big group of people who I thought were, like, really good friends. And we were all, like, just, like, these, like, great accepting people who were just, like, we all understood what it was like to be kind of cast out and, like, made to seem like losers because of, like, certain things about us. And so we kind of, like, went to accept people who, like, didn't really fit in, and we were kind of like that group. And I liked hanging out with them, and they were just cool people to talk to. And then one day, like, the leader of this group, this girl who is a junior now, she's really pretentious. She thinks she's better than everyone. She had the most pretentious nickname. I don't know if she still goes by it, but, like, she even started calling herself by a character from a John Green book. Like, how cliche can you get? But she was just really annoying. I didn't really like her, but I kind of put up with her because I'm like, yeah, I guess, like, I'll put up with you. Like, I didn't, like, actually go to, like, efforts to be mean or, like, say things bad about her. I just kind of let her do her thing. But one day I was talking to one of her friends, like her best friend, and she just got really pissed because she's like, he's my best friend, you can't talk to him. And I'm like, is this the second grade? Are you serious right now? Like, it was absolute bullshit. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then she just started like cussing me out and just being like super horrible to me. And she said so many bad things to me that day. And like, it was for the stupidest reason. It was because I was like talking to her best friend. And I'm like, I'm allowed to talk to people. He's allowed to have more friends than you. You're ridiculous. I don't know. And so after that day, I kind of stopped hanging out with all of them. And as for a group of people who accept all the misfits and stuff, you're doing a bang-up job of making people feel good. So, like, the rest of them were okay people. Some of them were just, like, bitchy to me for no reason. Like, I really didn't understand why some of them didn't like me. Like, they treated me horribly, and I'm like, you don't even know me. We haven't even had a conversation, and you're being rude to me right now. I don't understand this. But, like, the whole thing is I didn't just, like, sit there and take it. Like, when she was yelling at me and saying all these mean things to me and, like, telling me to leave, I'm like, I'm not gonna leave. These are my friends, too. And she was just saying a bunch of horrible things about me. And then eventually they left, and so I was kind of like, yay, I'm victorious, except for the fact that everybody left with her, and I was like, oh yeah, I have no friends. Because they all kind of like showed their true colors in that moment, and they're like, yeah, we like her more than you. And they're like, oh, she's a better friend to us, and I'm like, really, that's surprising because she's a bitch. And so I just didn't understand like why they thought she was a good friend. Maybe behind closed doors she was a nice person. I don't know. I still don't like her though. Yeah, but that's what you get for hanging out with kids who are younger than you, honestly. Like, I'm so done. I hang out with actual seniors now because I am so done with dealing with all the drama from classes below me. Yeah. So after that happened, I kind of was like, I hate myself. I'm a horrible person. And like, I was like, everything she said was right and I'm terrible. I don't even know why I'm here. And that kind of drove me to a better group of friends and people who actually cared. And then just over time that was like, yeah, these are people who actually care about me and who are cool. And then like over the summer we didn't really talk because I don't talk to people over the summer. That's just not something that I do. And she graduated a year early, so she doesn't go to my school anymore. So now I hang out with people who were kind of in that group of people that I was talking about with that one girl who I don't like. But they don't hang out with those like younger people either, except for like one of them. Like one person who's like a friend of mine who's a senior hangs out with them. But I hang out with like the other people who kind of broke away from that group because they're like, I'm done dealing with all the drama going on there. And I'm like, okay, good, because I was done with this last year. And so those are the people I talk to now, and like they've been my friends since freshman year. Like some of them I knew in middle school, and so I think all of them I knew in middle school, actually, pretty much, most of them, yeah. And so those are the people I talk to, and we hang out, and we're all really like accepting people. Like we're not like rude, like, because a lot of them, like most of them are theater people. Like theater people are super accepting, and so they don't like to see people being treated badly. And so now I have actual people who I know like me, because if they didn't like me they wouldn't hang out with me and they'd be like, sorry, bye. And yeah, also over the summer, since I had that whole I hate me thing, I got new medication and I hate myself less now. But I lost 20 pounds from one of the meds I'm taking, and so that actually made me feel a lot better about myself. So I am thinner than I was at the end of last year, so that was one thing that really boosted my confidence for this year, was that I was not fat, really. I'm still kind of chubby, but like I'm like better than I was. And I feel like I wouldn't have that whole I'm not gonna take this vibe that I have if it weren't for being in high school and like dealing with all these teachers and people and just things that go on and all the drama with it. Because if I went to a place that was all carefree and there was no drama and everybody liked each other, then I would still be having people like walking all over me and just treating me like shit. But with being in high school, I kind of grew over that, and I see through people now, and I'm like, people may think you're all sunshine and rainbows, but I can tell that you're actually terrible. Like, that's my gift, is seeing the bad in people. Yeah. I don't know if that's like a good gift to have, but I have it. It's a thing that I do, is I point out all the bad stuff. But I'm funny, and people think I'm uplifting to be around. Like, I always make people happier because I crack funny jokes or whatever. And yeah, so hopefully this year is going to be a lot easier for me, and I'm not gonna have to deal with drama or anything, because I am so done with it all. Like, I don't like to cause drama, honestly. Like, I stand up for what I believe in, but I'm not gonna like go and drag people into drama or make things a bigger deal than they are. Basically, that's what high school did for me. It made me kind of a stronger person, and I see things as they are. Like, I'm less like youthful, I guess. I got old. I'm like an old man that hates everything. Get off my lawn. But yeah. So, high school did tons for me. Like, if you knew me 4 years ago, you would not recognize me because I weighed a lot more. It was before puberty, and probably not before puberty, but around the time of puberty, and like, basically, I like myself now. I'm a better person than I was, and I have a better, I have an okay attitude. Like, I have like a very negative attitude. I think things kind of suck and I hate everything. But then at the same time, I don't take crap from people, and I am stubborn, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah. That's how high school changed me. I don't know how it's changed other people. Some people are the same as I knew them freshman year, which is sad. Like, it's all those people who, you know, this is the best time of their life, and everything is gonna go downhill from now. And I feel really sorry for those people, because like, they think that they're like really cool. But I go to a school where I kind of go to like a loser school, where like the cool people there, like the people who think they're all like hot shit, would be like super huge losers at like a bigger, more important school in my town. Like it's not my town, my city. So like, they think that they're like the coolest thing ever, and they're like, oh, look at me. And it's like, really? Because if you're going somewhere else, people will be like, ew, look at her. So yeah, if high school is the best time of your life, then everything's going downhill, and I'm sorry, because I have so much more ahead of me, and I know it. And I'm gonna find really good friends in college, people that I'm going to be talking to forever, and then I have all the people on the channel that I talk to. I feel like at one point in time I referred to them as the girls, and then I was like, oops, sorry, Melvin. But I just kind of got used to saying the girls. I don't know. The girls and Melvin. Yeah. So, yep, if you liked this video or can relate to what I've gone through, or are proud of me for all that I've grown past since I was 14, then give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you should still give it a thumbs up, because like, People's lives are ending after high school. This is as good as it's gonna get for them. You should probably like this video just because you feel bad for them. That's why you should like it, basically. And you should also hit that subscribe button. I post every Wednesday. Tune in every day for a new video. I will see you guys next week. Bye. Special announcement. Every Thursday, I'm just pointing this out, it was my idea, is anything can happen Thursday, like from the Big Bang Theory. And basically that means that anything can happen. Sometimes there'll be a post, sometimes there won't. We don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe it'll be a video of me dancing with my cat. Who knows? Anything can happen on Thursdays. There could be 5 videos. We could all post a random video about some random thing.